So is it haunted?
Maybe. Everybody who comes through here has the same ghost story.
What's the ghost story?
Well, I can't just tell you, they'd ruin it. If you want to come meet the ghost, come meet the ghost. So this is it. This is the castle. This is the Kenosha Theatre. It's meant to look like a kind of like old Spanish, mosquish kind of architecture. It's an old vaudeville palace on the end of what used to be Main Street in downtown Kenosha.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
There's a car show in Kenosha.
Kenosha, right by the water.
Which is a place you've probably heard of. Kenosha's biggest thing used to be factories, and those are gone now. But there's a very strange energy to the area. Between Milwaukee and Chicago, there's a lot of people, creative or otherwise. Let's see, there's Orson Welles, Al Molinaro from Happy Days. The seam on the front of briefs used to be known as the Kenosha crotch, because it was invented here by...
It was Jackie.
Okay. The QWERTY keyboard. Mark Ruffalo's dad actually stopped by here a couple of years ago. Mark, if you're watching this, hit me up. Come visit.
How old is it?
It was built in 1927 by Carl Laemmle. Back when the entire entertainment industry was in New York, he went to Los Angeles and started a company called Universal Studios. And so that changed things a bit. And he went and made a bunch of money and then sent a bunch of money back to Wisconsin to have this place built. So this was the second theater ever to have sound. It was kind of a big deal. But then the Great Depression happened, television happened, vaudeville died, and so this place did too. It struggled until it was closed in the 60s, and my family bought it in the 80s. So we got this thing, I don't know if you've ever seen cartoons where they have like these big like throw levers, like that. I only know one person that's climbed that ladder. What do you? Is Ace Alpha climbing that ladder? Tell me what you see.
I'm staring into the void. I can feel it staring back. So what went on here besides movies?
Newsreels, stage plays, musicians, comedians. Vaudeville was a regular thing. That was like the late night variety show of the day. The vibe was really different. You had to dress up better than your Sunday best to go to a Saturday show. You had to be completely quiet once you got in here. If you had to pee, you had to raise your hand and wait for an usher to come down and escort you quietly to the bathrooms, of which there are only 2. But there are no trailers, so you could trust marquees.
So is it haunted?
Maybe. Everyone who comes through here who has the ghost story has like the same ghost story.
What's the ghost story?
Well, I can't just tell you, they'd ruin it. I'll tell you what though, we're the last stop on the North Metro from Chicago. If you land in O'Hare, you can actually get here without once setting foot in a car. It takes like 3 hours, but there's a hotel down the street. You can walk here from the train station. So if you want to do some like hardcore like urban exploration, used to be a mirror here. I live here, you can come hit me up. So here's what toilet paper used to look like school like lunch bag material. Might as well be haunted though. Last tour guide we had, Bill Betcher, passed away not too long ago. And so did Ray Shepherdson, who was one of the people trying to restore this place.
Restore it?
Yeah, it's a very long story. Let's talk more about Ray.
Remember, we were doing these shows in unrestored buildings.
So Ray Shepherdson was a mastermind at restoring old theaters like this and making them profitable.
The auditorium had huge holes with plaster hanging out.
He's been involved in over like 40 of these.
Totally world class.
This is half of Ray Shepherdson's archives from his estate. Ray was really into chandeliers. He collected them. He would like juggle them between theaters.
But most people have never even seen a Broadway musical.
He had a very strange methodology.
And it really worked pretty well.
But he had everything all planned out. And if you didn't listen to Ray, your business was probably going to go under as soon as the theater was done.
Unbelievable.
So I found this letter from 1983. It was a 3-year plan for restoring the theater. The next year, my cousin Gabriel got cancer. And it didn't work out. And like this was before I was born, but Since then, we've been trying to chase funding, public funding, private funding, real funding, shady funding. The most recent attempt we had, my dad and Ray Shepherdson wanted to do a documentary thing to try to drum up support for the theater.
What a great honor.
And he had this part where he was leaning over a parking ramp.
You got it?
Like, what do I have to do to get your attention?
We're just filming.
And then that night he went back to the parking ramp and jumped.
So what now?
My dad and I make do with this creative studio 2 doors down. My dad does video, I mostly do music, though I guess now I do video. So through all the things that got my dad and I and our family stuck in this weird little city, at least we're like anchored to the coolest part of it.
Do you really feel like you're stuck here?
I mean, I chose this place over moving back to California when I had the chance. I'm one of those people that plays the MacBook, so I can do what I do from anywhere. I'd rather do it here. Hi, I'm Case.
Yeah.
This is our castle, the ruins in the Rustbelt, and I'm the resident ghost that haunts it. And if you see the blue on the ceiling, there used to be holes in the ceiling and there'd be lights above them. And so depending on the angle you saw them at, it looked like stars twinkling.